Hot Springs National Park, Arkansas, where power, politics, and a touch of Irish charm collide. Today, we're diving into the colorful life of Leo Patrick McLaughlin, Hot Springs' very own Irish-American mayor. He was part politician, part showman. Well, he was part rogue, which makes for a good story. I'm Chuck Dodson. I'll be your host as we unpack the rich and sometimes sordid history of Hot Springs, Arkansas. Born in 1888 to John Henry and Bridget McLaughlin, they were Irish immigrants who fled the devastating potato famine of the mid-1800s. Leo's story is as much about his family's rise from humble beginnings as it is about his own rise to power in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Leo's father was a grocer who moved his family to Hot Springs in 1878. It wasn't long before they owned multiple properties around town, including a thriving grocery and hardware store. But it was young Leo who made the biggest mark. A sharp, ambitious young man, Leo became the city's attorney for 13 years before he ascended to the role of mayor in 1927. Let me tell you, he ran this town like it was his own personal stage. Leo McLaughlin had the power, the style, and well, he had the connections to make things happen. Under his leadership, Hot Springs saw its streets paved, its fire and street departments strengthened, and a much-needed airport built. But it wasn't all about progress for the common good. Leo McLaughlin had a complicated legacy. He ruled with an iron fist, building a political machine that helped him rig elections and reward his loyal supporters with jobs and contracts. And he didn't shy away from using his power to settle scores. He once said, "My religion is to get even with people who have given me a reason to settle something." Leo's open town policy made Hot Springs a haven for illegal gambling, which flourished under his watch. Mobsters and gamblers roamed the streets with little fear of reprisal. And Leo McLaughlin controlled it all like a true political boss. Picture this. Leo McLaughlin, dressed in his signature red carnation boutonniere, driving high-stepping horses through the very streets he ruled. You know, he had an open-air buggy with two fine horses he named Scotch and Soda. They were fine horses. Here's where it gets a little tricky. McLaughlin was the symbol of an era. Machine politics, wide open gambling, flourishing bathhouses. He helped reopen Oaklawn Racetrack in 1934, creating a glittering attraction for gamblers. His control over the city was so strong that he could deliver up to 80% of the Garland County vote in state elections. Amazing. That's an impressive feat if I say so myself. But as with most colorful characters of history, power doesn't last forever. After World War II, young reformers came home from the war with fresh ideas, and they set out to topple McLaughlin's machine in Hot Springs. What followed was a series of criminal charges, though he was never convicted. By the time Leo passed away in 1958, he was a lonely, powerless man. In fact, his family home was ransacked by looters, hoping to find the fortune they thought maybe he had hidden there. Even his grave wasn't safe. It was vandalized as a final sad note to a life that had once been full of power and intrigue. But you know, even in his downfall, Leo McLaughlin's story is one of the American immigrant dream, rising from humble beginnings to the heights of power, only to be undone by the very system he helped to create. Leo McLaughlin's life is a reminder of the complex nature of history. He wasn't just a mayor. He was a symbol of ambition, charm, the kind of politics that shaped many American cities in the early 20th century. And while we may not always agree with how he used his power, his story is undeniably part of what makes Hot Springs, Arkansas history so fascinating. Until next time, I'm Chuck Dodson reminding you that history lives in Hot Springs, Arkansas.